Hello, my peaches. What's up? I am Pratha and welcome to today's video. From past 1 year, you guys have been requesting for Bella Vita perfumes, and I have the discovery set with me. But here's what I'm going to do. Not everyone would like to watch every scent out there, so there are 10 scents in here. Let me show them to you. In today's video, I am going to talk about the men's fragrances that are in the entire set that are appropriate for men and the ones that are appropriate for women. I am going to talk about them in a separate video just so that you don't have to watch unnecessary stuff. And with that thought, let's get into this video. The first one that we are talking about is CEO Man. The top notes have lemon, spicy violet, sugar, fruity notes, and middle has aromatic geranium, lavender, woody agarwood, and leather. Base has ambergris, moss, tonka, and vetiver. It's a bright, juicy, fresh, slightly husky, like a lemony but kind of a sugary lemon. Very slightly sugary, not like a burst of sweetness in it. No, just the kind of sugar that's kind of making it a smooth but like a very aquatic, juicy kind of fragrance. And it's very much giving me the Zara fragrances vibes. I really cannot tell you what these are inspired from because obviously I have not tried many of the men's fragrances out there. But I have to say, I'm really liking it for going to office or just wearing it for some official meetings outside the office or some going for some formal dates. It is great for summers, and I think for men in general, fresh fragrances work throughout the year. I like this dense feel of this fragrance that is there in the base, which is coming from the leather and the woods, which is not super prominent or not coming off as a super manly or a macho kind of fragrance. No, it's a very soft, bright, subtle kind of smooth, impressive fragrance. Have to say, I have came across such bad fragrances lately that Bella Vita is definitely impressing me so far. Really liking this and really impressive. I think if you are really on a budget and you just want to smell great under 500 rupees, CEO Man is really something to go for because it's very much giving me the Zara vibes. Something like that of Zara Gold or like a mix of a few Zara fragrances like 8.0 or Zara Gold, Man or Zara Soul, something on those lines, but in a fraction of the price. Really liking and really impressed with CEO Man. Next up, I have Impact Man. It has the notes of mandarin orange and clary sage. Then middle has nutmeg, cardamom, and pimento. Base has sandalwood, patchouli, and cedar. Now, where CEO Man is more on the smoother, aquatic lines of things, this is on the citrusy, spicy, a little bit on the rough, like on the edge kind of thing. The green cardamom is dominating the fragrance. It's bringing in a very beautiful, fresh spiciness to it along with that nutmeg. I generally really like nutmeg in men's fragrances. It is refreshing, it is uplifting, it is very, very aquatic, though it does not mention any aquatic notes in it, but it has this fresh, spicy, citrusy aquaticness to it, which is again very good for a super hot day when, you know, those days when you want something uplifting, when you are sweating like crazy or you're just feeling too hot even after being in ACs, and on that day when you want to wear something green and fresh and uplifting and lift my spirits kind of fragrance, that is when you will consider Impact Men. It is for purely for the super hot days, but in a very good way, and it can be your all day long fragrance. Same goes for CEO Man. Moving on to Sky Aquatic, which is a unisex fragrance because the first two were mainly for men and now we are on to the unisex ones. It has the top notes of bergamot, coriander, mandarin, pineapple. Middle has clary sage, lavender, leather, pink pepper. Base has patchouli. It's a very, very lemony kind of fragrance, you know, though it says that it has bergamot, but I don't know, for some reason It's coming off as a very lemony, fresh kind of fragrance to me, which is green and very slightly spicy. Just kind of, oh wait, it's actually smelling like little soap. Oh god. It's a lime peel. Yes, lime peel kind of green fragrance with a soapiness in the background, which is actually making it smell like either synthol, the yellow one, or little. More so on the lines of little soap. Loving this, guys. I think it's a perfect unisex fragrance because if you just want to smell fresh and soapy, this is so good to go for. I think I'm gonna wear it. I think so. Next up, I have fresh unisex fragrance. The top notes have sweet almond, bergamot, fresh green. Middle notes have lavender, orange blossom, and orris. Base has lang lang. Now, this is a combination of almond and bergamot for sure. Like this citrusiness mixing in with the almond nutty notes, which is kind of making it creamy but slightly dense and warm at the same time. It is somewhere in the middle kind of fragrance. It's not exactly warm, but not exactly fresh. It has both the things in it, but it's more so for the transition period when the fall is going on. Basically, the transitioning period between winters and summers. That is when you would want to wear this. Either great for a pleasant night or for a winter daytime. So more so like that, very much on the unisex lines, but I think for all the men out there who like to use a little bit of these smooth fragrances, they will really enjoy it because it will not come off as sharp or harsh, but then has this perfect kind of balance between the nutty creaminess and the fresh citrusiness. Like I can happily smell it both on men and women, and I will appreciate it on both of them, but it's not something, blowing my mind. I have to say, it's kind of leaning a little generic. Like if I break down the notes and I try explaining it to you, it might sound a little special. It will be more like, yeah, okay, you're smelling nice kind of fragrance, but it will not be like you smelling amazing kind of a fragrance for sure. The next unisex fragrance is honey oud, but I am going to quickly wrap it up by saying that this is not for men at all, and I would not suggest any of the men out there to wear this fragrance because it's just way too sweet for a men's fragrance. Now moving on to the next unisex fragrance, which is oud. Oud has the top notes of caramel, incense, carnation. Middle has floral oud, vanilla, and base has musk, sandalwood, and cedar wood. This is a very sweet, musky, spicy oud fragrance. I am not a fan of this. It's purely a manly fragrance, but it's just too Arabic for my liking. I am more into the French perfumery, the modern smelling fragrances. I am not very appreciative of oud. Here and there, like when it's very slightly added to a fragrance, when it's not an oud dominating fragrance, or when it's kind of coming off as very modern, that is when I like it. But in here, it's just giving me typical Arabic vibes. Oh god, I don't know why it's kind of smelling like a mandir to me. Yeah, it's like this very traditional kind of oud but incensey fragrance, which is very, very like I have entered some mandir, which is strongly smelling of incense and kapoor and all of those good things mixing in. But those things only smell good in a mandir, you know that. It does not smell good. Like, I'm not complaining about the quality of fragrance, I'm just complaining about the scent profile. So, would not suggest it. Let's keep that to a mandir. If you really want something like this to be smelling off, then spray this in your mandir. Or I think that's not a good idea. That's alcohol. You shouldn't be spraying that in the mandir for sure. And the last unisex fragrance that we have is white oud. The top notes have lemon, orange. Middle has freesia, blackcurrant, patchouli. Base has tobacco, amber, musk. Now this oud right here is kind of musky and light, slightly on the modern side of things, but it is such a generic musk. It is the most generic kind of musky oud that you can smell. And I have smelled this in so many brands like All Good Scents, like I don't know what other Arabic brands that come to your mind, or the Indian brands that come to your mind. This is a very, very generic, musky, oudi fragrance without any sweetness to it, or maybe like very slight sweetness. I don't know. I don't like it much. I'm not a fan of this scent profile again, even after this oud being quite modern. I don't like this heavy muskiness that is combining with the greenness and the woodiness of oud, and the musk is quite strong and quite out there. So yeah, if you like that sharp musky fragrances, only in that case go for this. I'm just not impressed with it, and this is a total pass for me. If I talk about the longevity on these are definitely impressive, like under 500 rupees. If you're getting that kind of longevity, like around 5 to 6 hours, or maybe even longer on your clothes, depending upon your skin type, because I am a dry skin person, and on my skin they were lasting for around 4 hours, which is a lot for my skin, because even designers does not stay that long on me. So I'm really impressed with the longevity of these, and they do come off as slight bit of these, diluted versions of others, especially on my skin. And I'm pointing more towards the unisex versions, or the Arabic kind of fragrances that are there in the unisex lines. But the two men's fragrances, that is the Impact Man and the CEO Man, are really impressive and more like that of those modern fragrances. And I would highly recommend you that if you're on a budget, because they have these combinations of 20 mls and gift sets that you can go for and own different kind of fragrances from Bella Vita. Genuinely, among this price range that I have tried lately, I have came across such bad fragrances that Bella Vita is somehow redeeming from all that. And yeah, I'm happy that I tried these. But keeping the unisex ones in mind, kind of generic, nothing out of the box. Would again like to say that. But the two men's fragrances I'm really liking, and the one which was more like this little soap thing, loving that. Loving that, and would love to wear that in the summer times. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope this video somehow helped you. If you're still here watching me and liking me, don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe to be my peaches. Keep looking handsome, keep smelling good, and have a great day all. Bye bye. Mwah.